the latest movie?
Yeah. Wait, which one?
Yeah.
Now we are in the right place. So, Oppenheimer. Elon Murray movie.
For starters, it's the simplest Nolan movie. But you know, Nakada, and it is about Robert Oppenheimer, who's the father of atomic bomb. But again, it's a Nolan film. So we start off in two different timelines.
Okay.
In the future timeline, we see people accusing Robert Oppenheimer about his, disloyalty towards the country and his treason and all that.
So there are two timelines.
Yeah, two timelines. And in the past timeline, we see a very young, naive Robert Oppenheimer who is enthusiastic about the country and who is ready to go to an extent where he agrees to, lead the Manhattan Project where he has to build an atomic bomb.
Okay.
So that is the contrast narration, Nolan has opted for.
So it plays simultaneously.
Yeah, it plays simultaneously. You cut back from the future timeline to the past timeline. So you keep wondering here, he is a very young person who is very loyal to the country and they're accusing him of something else. So there's a constant question lingering in your head like what it is. And Nolan plays with that. But for the information to pass, you only have Robert Oppenheimer who is narrating you. It is a single person narrator, so you only get to know what he is thinking and all. So then how much can you trust him? Then at that point he introduces you to Louis Strauss, who is Robert Downey Jr.
Okay.
Then you have a neutral point of view where neutral perspective.
So basically he gives you both like Oppenheimer's perspective. And then neutral perspective so that the viewers can have a better understanding of what really went.
Yeah, but again, whom do you trust? Can you trust both of them? That is the question. And that is Nolan.
Sounds interesting. You gonna ask me about Barbie or?
Yeah, what is about Barbie? Yeah, you tell me.
So like we all know it's a adventure, fantasy, drama movie. So it's good. It actually unexpectedly going into the movie I was not really looking forward to watch the movie. I wanted to watch Oppenheimer obviously. So Barbie, going into the theater itself, you get the experience of the Barbie world. I think I had the right audiences maybe. Pink themed, everything was pink themed.
Wow.
Okay. So about the plot of the movie, it is about of course Margot Robbie as the stereotypical Barbie.
Yeah.
And we have Ryan Gosling as Ken. So it follows the story of Barbie who starts to emote. She's a doll, so she can't emote like a human being, right? So she starts to emote.
Like, almost like the doll starts to get feelings and that's where the trouble starts.
Existential crisis.
Okay.
So that is about the crux of the story. The narrative is smooth flowing. And is she just a life-size doll or is there more to, her destiny or something like that?
Okay, so it's more about the inner conflict and inner struggle and all.
It's a beautiful narrative way of how Barbie's journey goes. Like it's a journey of self-realization, you can say, for Barbie.
Okay. By the way, trailer lo 11 Barbies, 11 Kens అని చూపించారు, but I could only see Margot Robbie as the lead. What is it?
So movie lo there are obviously different versions of Barbies and Kens, but main emphasis is on Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling.
She's the only lead actress.
You can say that she plays the stereotypical Barbie.
Okay.
The Barbie.
Yeah.
And you have Ryan Gosling as Ken. There are other versions of Ken and Barbie as well. But main emphasis అయితే వీళ్ళిద్దరి మీదనే.
Okay.
And then you have performance from other actors as well. You have a cameo from Dua Lipa. She plays a mermaid. From the trailer, I think you got that. She plays the mermaid Barbie version.
Okay.
So there are cameos, interesting. It's a star-studded cast. So obviously everyone plays their part very well. And you can. There's also Will Ferrell as one of the main characters, and also the director Greta as one of the Barbies. It's an interesting addition.
Okay.
So the main emphasis is obviously it revolves around Margot Robbie as a stereotypical Barbie, and then we have Ryan Gosling. I think I've covered it up. These are the characters that actually spoke to me and impressed me. These were the performances, and there are cameos. I think whoever watches the movies, they'll figure it out.
There are few surprises is what you're telling.
Yeah. No, I don't want to spoil them.
Okay. It's not in the trailer. Yeah, okay. Cool. Mine is, it's pretty obvious, like there are few people like star-studded unnar cast and you have Cillian Murphy, Robert Downey Jr., Emily Blunt and Matt Damon. But I think it is only Cillian Murphy's show all the way. Like it is a single perspective. I was talking earlier.
Yeah.
Right? It is a single perspective film. You can only, events, you feel events, and you emote to those events only through his eyes. Literally, bomb blast kuda, you don't see the event.
Okay.
It is only his version of the event or his imagination of that event is what you feel. That you'll understand if you watch.
Okay.
Don't be
Okay.
confused. It's Nolan.
Mm.
Okay, I can't
Understood.
elaborate on.
Understood.
So that is it.
Mm.
So personally, what I felt, I drew parallels between him and the bomb because I felt a bomb was continuously brewing inside him.
Inside Cillian Murphy, as
Inside
in
Cillian
Robert
Murphy, in his head.
Oppenheimer.
In his head, because the tension that builds up, the expressions he has, or you always feel there's something going on in his head. Though you see everything, you still feel there's something else in this man running in this man's head or something like that. I don't know why I feel that, but still
Okay.
I know I though I've seen this long film, I still feel there's something inside him. That is how good a performer he is.
So he steals the show
He still,
completely.
the only person who manages to stand the ground to him is Robert Downey Jr.
Of
Like
course.
you.
Of course.
But not the usual way not the Iron Man or the Marvel way It is a completely
Obviously,
different
he's a
way,
capable actor.
and there's a surprise in this thing also. You have to watch it. I can't
Obviously.
give away too much, but he has done a kick-ass performance.
So it's a Nolan movie. Technicalities చాలా ఉంటాయి.
Obviously, like I think Nolan ఎప్పుడు ఏం try చేస్తాడంటే he wants the experience to be immersive. That is his whole idea. So for this film also, I think he shot in IMAX cameras and all, but unfortunately we do not have IMAX screen.
Hyderabad.
I really feel jealous about the people who get to watch in IMAX. But still, I've got the best experience in the Prasad PCX screen. I think it is by far the best experience we'll get in Hyderabad. So the whole objective, like, but what we have, when you watch the trailer or what you all imagined it to be a very eye candy film, like with the blast, you're waiting for the blast to happen and all that. All that is immersive, no doubt, which we'll talk about it later. But still, I feel Nolan separately has a separate point to tell. Because even if you look at Interstellar, Inception or something like that, if he has the eye candy aspects like, that space docking and all of these things, he still has a human core which is very much attached to it. He presents that story with these elements like which please the audience.
Yeah.
In Oppenheimer 2, he has that eye candy thing as the bomb blast or something which is for a very limited time.
But
The
that
experience
is
is kick-ass, there's no doubt about it, but he wants to show the aftermath of what the effect of that or what effect it had on people, mostly on Robert Oppenheimer, what was running in his mind and all those things. For
like you
me-
said, it was a single, like his perspective of things.
Yeah. So he wanted to delve into that aspect.
Yeah.
So for that, he chose, like, even through cinematography or something, if you talk about cinematography, he has used multiple aspect ratios, to have your focus on particular thing, which I'm not going to delve into details. If you have to find out with your viewing, like what he wanted you to see and all those things. He had the camera very still on the drama part, because he wants you to be that. He wants you to be like this Coke is like here. He wants you to be in that space where the conversation is happening. He wants you to involve in that. If it is otherwise, if he's going for the spectacle, the camera was moving and he had those effects and all of that. So he had
right balance of everything.
Yeah. The same with the editing. He had a proper flow. There are no jarry cuts and all that. He had those only when he wanted to show chaos in the chaotic mind of Oppenheimer and all those stuff. It's like that. So I want to know about Barbie also. Like
Speaking of eye candies, obviously the movie itself is an eye candy, visual
the
heavy.
fantasy.
Visual heavy. So the costume design, the attention to detail. I think you need to watch the movie once again so that you can get all the glamour, the sparkly thingies.
I watched the Nolan film. You're saying once again. Okay, fine. Okay, go on.
Okay, but if you keep the genre in mind and if you are someone who enjoys it, then obviously for the second watch, you're gonna love the visuals itself because that's how good it is. The costume designer is also, I think, one of the Oscar nominees. So he really did a very good job. And
very much visible in the trailer itself.
Yeah, it's all sparkly, Barbie.
For me, the trailer, I think the production design also stood out.
I was coming to that. So we have a real world, like reality world, and then the Barbie world. So the contrast in between the production design and all. So for anyone who grew up with Barbie and doll houses, there's obviously how it looks and everything. But when it comes to real life sized dolls and everything, the production is also like not CGI heavy. So you can easily figure out how like the Barbie world and the reality world, there's a stark contrast in between those two things, and kudos to the production design.
Just when you said CG, I remember like there's a crazy trivia about Oppenheimer. There's no CG shot. There's no VFX shot in Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
And you see a very big blast happening and all that without a single VFX shot. That's Nolan. You have to see the experience. I don't want to give you few details, that would spoil the experience. But still, the way he uses sound, the way he uses silence. I think silence is the biggest music in Oppenheimer. That is all I can say.
For Barbie, it was the other way around.
Okay.
The lively music, of course, we have Nicki Minaj, Billie Eilish, and Dua Lipa. For me, Dua Lipa stood out.
Okay.
And the lively music keeps up the tempo of the movie. Like, obviously, it's all fantasy and all lively stuff. Yeah. But also, there's this. I want to talk about direction. Greta Gerwig. So, I believe Barbie could have only been directed by a woman. Not because of the stereotypes and everything that might be running in your mind. Okay. Not because of that. But she has a fine principle to deliver, to convey. Okay. And she does that with satire and she does it so subtly that it is an impactful principle that she wants to establish. And she does it in a satirical, comical and subtle way that it makes you, the whole experience makes it immersive and you actually listen to what she's saying. And I think it was impactful.
Okay, you were saying a woman could only say it better.
Yeah.
With the perspective.
And she aced in saying that.
So how was the cinematic experience?
Beautiful. Okay. Like 2 hours runtime, 2 hours well spent. You walk into the theater with one vantage point and you walk out with another complete different experience. And for people who, grew up with Barbie dolls, it's obviously nostalgic, reminiscent of their childhood. What about you? How was yours?
Same completely like yours, like what you told, like you start with some
it's contrasting themes, right? So
so I went in with a different feeling. I was expecting a spectacle or something like that after I watched the trailer, but it takes you by surprise. This film is not about the bomb itself.
Okay.
It is about the after effects and the psyche of Robert Oppenheimer. Like I went in, I was trying to know who this guy is, I was trying to empathize with him, I'm liking him, and then suddenly there were questions raised and I was doubting him for a while. Then I get to know what are the effects of what he has done actually. So then I start like, this is not the right thing or something like that. But for me or for that matter, anyone to empathize with that person who has been responsible for the death of these many people, atomic bomb, the father of atomic bomb, it is the success of Nolan is what I feel. Because he makes you think about him and all that stuff. And along with that, he doesn't miss the spectacle at all.
Okay.
Like for all the Interstellar fans where you have the talking scene. There's an even better scene waiting for you in Oppenheimer.
Oh.
I don't want to say anything more. You just have to watch it.
Okay.
Like for all Nolan films, you go out, you come back for the second or third viewing for the details you missed.
Yeah.
This time, it is for the emotions you come back.
Oh.
It is for the psyche of Robert Oppenheimer, like how it progressed and all. For that, you come back.
So you're saying the first time, the first view and the second experience would be completely different.
Yeah, because you know what is happening in the end. You know what is the end thing, and you know what is really revealed and all. You go back and it is a complete different experience. So if you're thinking this is a biography, the story is out in the internet and you know everything, just wait. It is directed by Christopher Nolan. All I can say is go get your sheets.
What do you mean?
Which is what you'll understand only if you watch the film.
Alrighty then.
Yeah.
To Oppenheimer.
To Barbie.
Cool.